If you're a Muslim, chances are you've heard someone say Islam was spread by the sword. People who say this often mean that Islam was forced on people under the threat of death. After all, who in their right minds would want to become a Muslim, right? No one would choose Islam freely. Or would they? Throughout history, people have used this narrative of Islam being spread by the sword to justify various agendas. Colonial powers used it to paint their conquests as morally superior to those of Islamic empires. People continue to throw this statement around to vilify Muslims, paint us as barbaric, and justify hostilities against us. But how true is it? Let's rewind to the early days of Islam. After the death of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Islam spread rapidly. Was this expansion proof of forced conversions? Not quite. Military conquests were common across many civilizations, not just Muslim ones. Christianity and even Buddhism saw similar expansions. Reducing the spread of any religion to battle and conquest ignores the complicated way in which religion operates in people's lives. Early Muslims did indeed gain control over many lands. The Byzantine and Sasanian armies were tired out from fighting each other, so both quickly surrendered their lands to the Muslims. Very soon, Muslim territories stretched across the Middle East, North Africa, parts of Europe, and Asia. Even so, historical evidence shows that forced conversions were rare. In most cases, non-Muslims in conquered regions were allowed to practice their religions. They were asked to pay a tax called jizya in return for protection and exemption from military service. This system cultivated religious diversity in Islamic empires. Many religious minorities, such as Jews and Christians, actually welcomed Muslims because they were fed up with their old rulers or had been treated badly because of their religion. And guess what? Converting to Islam didn't happen overnight. Thanks to the research of modern historians, we know that the process of conversion took hundreds of years in many places. This was much later than the initial expansions into new territories. So the idea that Islam was spread only by the sword, that's just not true. History shows it was a much slower and more peaceful process. Most contemporary historians and scholars agree that while military conquest contributed to the expansion of Muslim political power, the spread of the religion was much more peaceful, involving things like trade, cultural exchange, diplomacy, and marriage. Muslim traders traveled widely, reaching Southeast Asia, West Africa, and East Africa. Their honest and fair dealings attracted locals to Islam. In Southeast Asia, ports like Malacca became centers of Islamic culture because of the influence of Muslim merchants. Similarly, in West Africa, trans-Saharan trade routes facilitated the spread of Islam. Marriage between Muslims and non-Muslims also played a significant role. In Central Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa, Muslim traders and conquerors married local women. This led to the gradual conversion of families and communities over generations. In addition, Sufi missionaries and Muslim scholars traveled extensively, teaching Islam and establishing centers of learning. Sufi saints in South Asia and Southeast Asia blended Islamic teachings with local traditions, making the religion more accessible. Timbuktu and Al-Andalus became hubs for Islamic scholarship. They attracted scholars and students from different parts of the world, further spreading Islamic knowledge and culture. We can see that with the spread of Islam through these vast territories, there were no wars fought over religion. People saw how Muslims behaved and got interested in Islam that way. And it's clear that this phenomenon persists today. Despite the attempts by many to disparage Islam and Muslims, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. This is the case in places you might not expect, like Canada, for instance. No one's forcing people to become Muslims here. They're doing it because they naturally see the beauty of the religion and they want to be part of it too. Think about all those people reading the Quran on social media.
I don't believe in God, and yet I'm reading the Quran for the first time.
So now, seeing the plight of the Palestinian people and their strong faith, I decided I would read the Quran.
They're moved by the moral strength of Palestinians and they want to be like them. So the next time you hear someone say Islam was spread by the sword, remember that Islam's true spread is much more diverse and peaceful than often portrayed. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, keep questioning, and feel free to share your thoughts and keep the conversation going. Until next time, I'm Safiyyah Ally for Let the Quran Speak. Tired of seeing how Muslims are portrayed in the media? You can help. Support Muslim Media Hub, the first of its kind to empower young people to produce content for film, TV, and social media. Be part of our journey at muslimmediahub.com.